Hello, I'm Sekou Millington, Chief of Police for the Tracy Police Department. Today I'd like to share information about the officer-involved shooting that occurred on January 27, 2023, near the intersection of Foxtail Way and Mosswood Court in the city of Tracy. At about 1:47 p.m., our communication center received a 911 call from a community member in the 500 block of Silvertail Place. The reporting party told dispatch he witnessed one man with a knife chasing another man.
911, what's your emergency?
I got a gentleman. I live on Silvertail, and I got a gentleman running around here chasing somebody with a big old knife.
The reporting party went on to describe that the two parties ran from his residence to a nearby location where he could still hear screaming.
I done ran him off of my property, and they done ran around the corner, and I hear him around there screaming or whatever.
What race is the guy, sir?
He looks like he's Sikh.
So, like a Middle Eastern male?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what he's wearing?
I can hear him yelling right now.
Okay. Do you remember what he's wearing? What type of clothes?
He's wearing a light brown, you know the garments that they wear? The pants and a long shirt.
He described the armed subject as carrying a knife with a blade larger than 6 inches. The reporting party told dispatch that the involved subjects ran to a nearby court. Dispatch was able to determine the subjects were last seen near the intersection of Foxtail Way and Mosswood Court.
It looked to be at least 6 inches long.
Okay. Can you still see him? Or are you just hearing him?
No, they ran around the corner, and I didn't want to get involved. I just wanted to call somebody.
The following information describes what transpired during the incident as determined by the multifaceted investigations conducted by the Tracy Police Department's Bureau of Investigation, the Tracy Police Department's Professional Standards and Training Division, and the San Joaquin County District Attorney's Office. During the investigation, it was determined that the primary subject was a 17-year-old male who'd been chasing his adult brother with a knife. After receiving the initial call at 1:47 p.m., 3 officers were dispatched to the location to further investigate. The first officer, a 28-year veteran officer, arrived at the location at about 1:56 p.m. Officer Ramirez was driving a fully marked police car wearing full police uniform. 4 seconds after arriving on the scene, Officer Ramirez got out of his police car where he was met by an adult male subject. The male, later determined to be the victim, muttered, "My brother, fighting," and pointed to the west.
Have a seat right there. Have a seat. Yeah. My brother, he fights.
The primary subject, matching the description provided by the community member, later identified as a 17-year-old male, arrived on a bicycle near the front of Officer Ramirez's police car. The primary subject was holding a large knife in his left hand again against the handlebars of the bicycle.
Sit down.
The subject stopped his bicycle and began to dismount, moving the knife from the left hand to the right hand. As the victim states, "He has a knife."
Hey.
The subject dropped the bicycle and began walking toward Officer Ramirez and the victim with the knife in his right hand.
Put down the knife. Put down.
As he continued toward Officer Ramirez and the male victim he had been speaking with, Officer Ramirez ordered the subject to drop the knife 5 times.
Put down the knife. Put down the knife. Put down the knife. Put down the knife. Put down the knife.
While giving commands to stop, Officer Ramirez backed away from the subject towards the back of his patrol vehicle while giving the subject more time to comply with the direction to drop the knife. Fearing he or the other male would be stabbed by the subject, Officer Ramirez fired his department-issued firearm twice. The subject was struck twice by the 2 rounds fired by Officer Ramirez. The subject retreated a short distance but did not immediately drop the knife. Officer Ramirez again ordered the subject to drop the knife.
Put down the knife! Put down the knife!
As was ordered to the ground by Officer Ramirez, the subject dropped the knife to the sidewalk. Officer Ramirez advised dispatch via radio of shots fired. A female believed to be the subject's mother arrived at the scene with another adult male and a child. The female picked up the knife that the subject discarded, but dropped it when ordered to do so by Officer Ramirez.
Hey, everybody get away from the knife!
Officer Ramirez ordered the people believed to be family members of the subject to back away. They did not comply.
Get away from them! Get away! Get away!
Officer Ramirez confirmed with dispatch that fire department and ambulance were responding code 3. That's with lights and sirens.
Confirmed, yeah, code 3. Shots fired.
Dispatch confirmed those resources were en route. A male subject, believed to be a relative of the subject, kicked the knife away from the area.
Shots fired.
Hey, don't cut the
and
knife.
Foxtail, fire and rough.
Officer Ramirez advised dispatch there were multiple family members at the scene and requested additional officers to the scene.
We got family coming out. We need sculpture.
Though Officer Ramirez continued directing the family away from the subject, they did not comply with his direction. Officer Ramirez put on latex gloves, planning to provide first aid to the subject when it was safe to do so. Additional officers began arriving at the scene. It took several officers to secure the area around the subject, making it possible to immediately provide life-saving measures.
I need you over here. I need you over here.
Minutes after the subject was shot, Officer Jamor applied a tourniquet to the injured arm of the subject.
Where's he at?
Officer Trine retrieved and secured a large knife the subject dropped.
Sit over there. Hey, try and get the knife. Yeah, get the knife.
Utilizing combat gauze, Officer Trine applied direct pressure to a wound to the subject's stomach. The first paramedic arrived at the scene and took over the medical care of the subject.
Chest, and I believe once in the arm.
The subject was transported to a local trauma hospital for treatment. These incidents are tragic for all involved parties. Our thoughts and prayers go out to those affected by this unfortunate event. While we believe in the sanctity of all life, we hold true to our obligation to keep the Tracy community safe from those who would cause harm. Officers of the Tracy Police Department receive extensive training in de-escalation and alternate force options. However, those options are not always available in a rapidly evolving event where great bodily injury or death is very possible. We will continue to be transparent with this investigation as new information is developed.